Hey! Hey! I used that word in a video. A few days ago, we spoke about this very same topic in regards to the Vancouver Canucks and their coaching situation, and I used that B word. Bullying. I asked in the video, hey, is this word appropriate to use in this situation? Is Vancouver management somewhat of a bully in the way that they treat their head coaches? And we used the Bruce Boudreau situation from a few years ago to illuminate some parallels with how the Rick Tocchet situation in 2025 is going, but now it's not even just me. It's not me strictly going out there and using that B word. It is the man himself, Bruce Boudreau. Because Boudreau had himself an appearance on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio earlier this week. And the former Vancouver Canucks head coach had some very interesting things to say about how the Rick Tocchet situation is going. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to this article on NHLTradeRumors.me by Dave Littman. This article is important because it gives us the quotes that Boudreau had on the show. Take a look at this. Tocchet's guaranteed contract expires at the end of this season, but there is a team option for next year, and the reports are that the Vancouver Canucks are insisting that they have no intention of letting Tocchet coach elsewhere next year. Per Bruce Boudreau, speaking on NHL Network Radio on SiriusXM, he has seen this movie before. I can see how the Vancouver management works there. What they'll do is, they did the same thing to me when they wanted me to sign my deal. They put it public, and they say, hey, if you don't do this, then we're going to do this. So the MO on that, as soon as I heard about the Rick Tocchet situation, I said, I know exactly what Jim is doing here. And it's almost like bullying him into signing the deal. Okay, so Bruce is now using that B word, bullying. The Vancouver Canucks are, in a way, bullying Rick Tocchet into signing his deal. And we had already gone through the song and dance as to how this is going down. Vancouver offered Rick Tocchet a contract, he rejected it, and now there's this floating idea that says that Philadelphia is interested in bringing Tocchet in, etc., but Vancouver is putting their foot down and saying, nah, we have a team option. We can choose for Tocchet to come back next year, even if he doesn't want to sign a contract extension. It's either you re-sign and you stay in Vancouver for the next few years, or we use our team option and you're staying in Vancouver for next season. Even if you don't want to be here, we still have the right to choose and bring you back. And so for Bruce to go out there and say, yeah, that's kind of similar to what happened with me, they're putting it out there in the public. Whomever it is in the Vancouver Canucks organization is leaking this information to the insiders that are reporting about it on TV. That is putting it out into the public, and now the folks like me and you and the commenters on these YouTube videos, we're going out there and talking about it because it's a mainstream thing. It's reported, and who's the one who's going to give that information to the reporters? It's going to be whomever it is in the Canucks organization that's got the connections and wants to get something into the media. I think we know how these things work after all. There are some other comments here. Bruce Boudreau says that all this stuff does is hurt the team on the ice, adding that it's too much publicity for a team that just wants to go out there and play. They might even sink a little deeper in the standings. And that is an underrated element about all of it too. I don't think coach drama, per se, is as damning or as impactful as player drama when it comes to players' performance and how that stuff seeps into their minds during the game. But we have seen so much turmoil and so much drama with the Vancouver Canucks this season in particular, between the JTs and the Elias Petterssons and the folks in the room taking sides. Quinn Hughes wants Pettersson on the team, etc., guys being forced to go through that sort of an environment. And now the coach is potentially being bullied into staying with the organization too. Rick Tocchet had some comments a few days ago saying that, yeah, Vancouver's a great city, etc., but he doesn't want to focus on the contract negotiation side of things. He doesn't want to talk about the future. He wants to focus on right now, being with this team, helping them win as many games as they can, etc. And there was some buzz from that. Like, oh, do we need to read into this? Is Rick Tocchet's interest with the Vancouver Canucks waning? Of course, he's not going to verbally confirm or deny anything. I think only one coach in the NHL really does that consistently, and that's Tortorella. Guess what? That got him fired. But Rick Tocchet and the sort of sentiment that's been building up in this city that maybe he's in a spot where he doesn't feel confident with this group, and maybe if he wants to go to a team that can be more of a contender, that would be an option because he's going to have a lot of suitors if he was a free agent coach. But then it's like, hey, Vancouver's going to bully the guy into not being a free agent coach because they'll just exercise their team option, whether Tocchet wants to stay long-term or not. He could be the next lame duck coach like Bruce Boudreau was when Allvin and Rutherford just did not fire the guy as soon as they could have. Everybody knew his time in Vancouver was coming to an end, but for some reason they kept him there. They embarrassed the guy. They humiliated him. And now Boudreau's saying on the radio that, yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's bullying. They are bullying the coaches. And, like, learning more about this, it just makes that entire Boudreau saga so weird. Because we know that, for the most part, Allvin and Rutherford never really wanted Boudreau as their guy, since they were hired after Boudreau was hired by Francesco Aquilini. Benning and Green got fired, and then Boudreau came in right away as the head coach, and then, a few weeks after, the Canucks hired Rutherford, Allvin. And then there was that idea saying, okay, well, Rutherford and Allvin, they want their own guy. They have their own coach in mind, this Rick Tocchet guy from TNT Sports. But they can't get rid of Boudreau right away because the team was really good under Boudreau towards the end of that season, and then they decided to keep him, and then the team started playing poorly again, and then it was like, okay, well, now, this is where we see Bruce Boudreau's time in Vancouver start to wind down, and we recognize that the team just didn't want him there, and he wasn't providing results, and they kept him around for far too long, and then they fired him after he cried. Like, fans were chanting, Bruce, there it is, and, like, the guy was crying in Rogers Arena. It was emotional, and it's like, bro, how could you let this coach go through that? Bruce Boudreau is, like, the last human being on earth that deserves that kind of treatment. So what gives? Now, I don't see similar things happening with Rick Tocchet. I don't think we're going to do walk it like I talk it in the arena like Canucks fans did for Bruce, there it is. Imagine being the guy who came up with that. That must be such a badge of honor. But Rick Tocchet doesn't seem to be the guy to get emotional in the same way that Boudreau did in his final days in Vancouver. But still, the treatment is similar here. So I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Bruce Boudreau revealing the truth on the Rick Tocchet situation? The Vancouver Canucks are bullies. And I'm going to use that word comfortably now because last time it was like, oh, is it appropriate to say that? But then Boudreau comes in and he's like, yeah, no, it's bullying. They're bullying the guy into signing a contract. I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How does this make you feel? Do you think it's the right way to conduct business? And do you think Rick Tocchet is the right coach for the Vancouver Canucks moving forward? That's a very divisive question in and of itself, but there will be multiple replies on either side, so I'm looking forward to reading that later on today. Thoughts in the comment section below about the Rick Tocchet situation and Boudreau's speech about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.